Tribal animals at risk. Stories of survival. Kimberlie Hamilton. Continuation of the ocean. Paul's seal. Leopard seal. When photographer Paul Nicklin was in Antarctica shooting photos for National Geographic in 2009, he had an experience he will never forget. He came face to face with the largest leopard seal he's ever seen, a species with a reputation for being ferocious. Things started off badly when the deadly predator took Paul's head and camera into her powerful mouth. This was a terrifying moment when he was totally at her mercy. But instead of harming him, the seal did something unimaginable. She started bringing him penguins, first live ones, then sickly ones, and finally dead ones, even demonstrated how to eat them. Paul suspects that she figured he was rubbish at hunting and needed help. A film of their incredible interaction later went viral on the internet. Pelorus Jack, dolphin. Pelorus Jack was a rhesus dolphin who guided ships traveling between Wellington and Nelson in New Zealand. He was first noticed way back in 1888 and spent the next 24 years joyfully riding the bow-ways of a boat traveling from Pelorus Sound to the dangerously narrow French Pass, a journey of about 8 kilometers, 5 miles. His fame grew over the years, and he became a major tourist attraction, drawing attention of such well-known figures as the American writer Mark Twain. Pelorus Jack was so beloved that his fans demanded and won legal protections for him in 1904. Misery sounds Pelorus Jack's death, but he mostly died of old age. His legend lives off with songs, a chocolate bar, and even a Scottish country dance named in his honor. Springer, orca. Springer became famous in 2002 when she was a malnourished orphan found swimming in Puget Sound near the city of Seattle, USA. A close look at photographs and analysis of the sounds she made revealed that Springer was A73, a member of a dolphin pod located 402 kilometers to 150 miles north. Springer became a major news story as people debated about what to do with her. Scientists eventually agreed to capture the little orca and give her medical care and food. She was later transported to British Columbia, Canada, and released near her family. Within weeks, Springer was been traveling with the wild orcas and has stayed with them ever since, becoming a mom twice. This was the first time that a whale was successfully reintroduced to the wild after being cared for by humans. Yoshi, sea turtle. Yoshi spent more than 2 decades in an aquarium in South Africa, but once his sea turtle was fully grown and old enough to breed, the decision was made to give Yoshi her freedom. Scientists spent 18 months getting Yoshi ready with a rigorous fitness program designed to help her cope for rough ocean seas. Training sessions included swimming laps in her tank, with divers at each end giving her treats to encourage her to keep going. In 2017, at the age of 25, she was released into the ocean off Cape Town. All Yoshi had's work paid off because she has since gone to become the stuff of a legend and on a track to set a new record for sea animal migration. In her first 26 months at sea, she traveled more than 37,000 kilometers, 23,000 miles, as far as the west coast of Australia, and she's still going. Oceans of the world wildlife wins. Scientists increasingly took to our oceans and their wildlife to gauge the health of the planet. Here are some positive developments. There are about 60 orcas in captivity around the world, but activists are working hard to free them, keeping marine animals in cramped concrete pools to perform tricks in terribly cruel and animal abusement parks are now banned in many countries. The Belize Barrier Reef was threatened by overdevelopment and pollution until 2018, when the government banned oil and gas exploration in Belize's waters. The world's largest animals, blue whales, were spotted in unprecedented numbers in the waters around Antarctica in 2020, a sign the mammals might be staging a comeback. A 2018 ban of fishing nets in Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates, has reduced death of dugongs by more than half. Better known as steakhouse dugongs are related to manatees. Protections created by the Endangered Species Act have helped save the Florida manatee from extinction in U.S. waters. Young activists helped too, successfully campaigning to make the manatee the state marine mammal in 1975. The fin whale population has adapted since 1970s, thanks to the reduced catches in the North Atlantic and global bans of commercial whaling. The West and South Atlantic humpback population has grown to 25,000 whales, an extraordinary recovery for the species. At one time, there was as few as 450 left. Australian scientists now use drones to keep an eye on endangered sea lions, which often live in remote regions. The drones take aerial photos that are used to determine the animal's health. Up to 100 million sharks are killed each year for their fins, which are used for shark fin soup and in traditional Chinese medicine. One strategy to save them is ecotourism, such as giving divers opportunities to swim with sharks. Russia freed 10 orcas and 87 belugas from its whale jail in 2019. They were held captive in there before getting sold to aquariums and marine parks around the world. Whale rescue teams in places like Canada Bay of Fundy are made up of local fishermen who undergo special training and learn how to safely free whales caught in fishing lines and nets. Other amazing ocean animals. In 2014, scientists in French Polynesia noticed a bottlenose dolphin caring for a baby whale as well as her biological calf, something that had never been seen before. The baby whale stayed with his adoptive mom for almost 3 years before striking out of his own. California surfer Todd Andrews, though his life was over when he was struck 3 times by a great white shark in 2007, but a pod of dolphins formed a protective circle around him, allowing him to get to shore. He recovered from his injuries and said he owed his life to the dolphins. In the late 1970s, staff at the Boston Aquarium discovered that a sailboat seal named Hoover could say his own name in simple phrases such as "hello there," whose remarkable ability to mimic human speech made him a hit with visitors and intrigued scientists for years. Following the success of the movie Free Willy, activists campaigned the film's real-life star, a captive orca named Keiko. He was moved to a sanctuary where he learned to hold his breath longer, swim more, and catch his own food. Keiko was eventually released near Iceland in 2002. Mila, the beluga, whale saved the life of a Chinese diver in 2009. The woman was taking part in free diving contest among the whales in a tank of water chilled to Arctic temperatures. Her legs cramped and she was in danger of drowning. Then Mila swam over and pushed her to the surface. In 2008, 2 pygmy whales, a mom and her calf, beached themselves again and again on a sandbar in New Zealand. Luckily, a bottlenose dolphin named Moko showed up and guided the whales back to open water. NOC, Nock, a beluga whale who lived in an aquarium in San Diego, USA, for 30 years, was one of the first in its kind to mimic human speech. Nock told a human diver to get out of his tank by saying the word "out." Ozzy was the first octopus to unscrew a jar in under a minute. He set a new world record in 2014 while recovering from an injury at a New Zealand aquarium and was ready to return to the sea. Winter is a bottlenose dolphin in an aquarium in Florida, USA, with a silicone and plastic prosthetic tail. Historians inspired the book and film Dolphin Tale and its sequel, Dolphin Tale 2.